Iran is asking the highest court at the United Nations to remove U.S. sanctions reimposed after the American withdrawal from its nuclear deal with the Islamic Republic. Plus, Iran's Navy is claiming now to control a key shipping channel tonight. Correspondent Benjamin Hall tells us what it all means.
Iran is suffering under sanctions, and today they pushed back by trying to sue the US at the UN, claiming the sanctions violate a little-known 1955 friendship treaty.
The United States is publicly propagating a policy intended to damage, as severely as possible, Iran's economy and Iranians' nationals and companies.
Secretary Pompeo responded in a statement, saying that Iran's claims were meritless and that the US would vigorously defend against them. Just as Iran was quoting a friendship treaty, the head of its navy was issuing military threats, saying it now has full control of the Persian Gulf and Straits of Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's oil goes, adding that Iran could take military action to block oil exports. But inside Iran, cracks are showing. On Sunday, the finance minister, a key ally of President Rouhani, was voted out due to the country's economic woes, which he also blamed on the US.
The enemy has targeted our entire economic fortifications. By imposing sanctions, America is seeking to put our people under pressure and stir dissatisfaction.
Whole industries are now collapsing. Rug exports, for example, once a major source of income, are in free fall.
America has been the best market for us, in my opinion, the best market in history. It's a huge loss. We could have revived this industry, but we'd lost the chance.
Now, with the Iranian rial already at half the value it was at the start of the year, voices of dissent are growing. And in particular, people fear November, which is when the next round of sanctions will hit oil exports that observers say could lead to a total collapse of the economy. Brett?
Benjamin Hall in London. Benjamin, thank you. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo and counterparts from Japan and South Korea are recommitting to the denuclearization process with North Korea. Pompeo spoke with the foreign ministers Friday. Last week, President Trump canceled Pompeo's planned trip to North Korea over what he called insufficient progress. The lawyer for President Trump's former attorney, Michael Cohen, is backtracking on a claim that had many of the president's supporters seriously worried. It's the second walk back in the past few days from Lanny Davis. Chief Intelligence Correspondent Catherine Herridge is here tonight with specifics. Good evening, Catherine.
Thank you, Brennan. Good evening. In a statement today to Fox News, lawyer Lanny Davis said, quote, "I should have been much clearer that I could not confirm the story on the Trump Tower meeting. I take the responsibility for not communicating more clearly my uncertainty. I regret the error." It started with an interview Tuesday where Davis said his client, Michael Cohen, has evidence of a Russian link.
Mr. Cohen has knowledge on certain subjects that should be of interest to the special counsel. Knowledge about the computer crime of hacking and whether or not Mr. Trump knew ahead of time.
The allegation went viral after Cohen's guilty plea to 8 criminal counts, including campaign finance violations that may implicate the president, as well as the conviction of former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort. A day later, Davis was pressed on the June 2016 Trump Tower meeting, where the president's son-in-law, and campaign strategist met with Russians promising dirt on Hillary Clinton.
Michael Cohen does not have information that President Trump knew about the Trump Tower meeting with the Russians beforehand or even
after. No, does not.
Over the weekend, Davis said his comments were based on instinct, not evidence. President Trump seized on the shifting accounts, writing on Twitter, quote, "The answer is that I did not know about the meeting. Just another phony story by the fake news media." During his closed-door testimony to a Senate panel almost a year ago, Cohen said he had no information the president knew in advance about the meeting. Cohen does not plan, apparently, to amend his congressional testimony, Brett.
Catherine, thank you.
You're welcome.
When we come back, a call for the Pope to resign over the church's sex abuse scandal, and how trying to get into college can get your teenager in all kinds of privacy trouble.